I was doing some addition, not too great at that. Subtraction, even worse. Multiplication,
But you know
when
what
it
to
comes to
do?
the division, I'm just like my dirty birds. I'm number one.
Fucking 300 yards. He looked fucking terrible. Those interceptions were just fucking god awful. Zach Wilson's a bust. He sucks. Like, this needs accepted already.
I got a problem with being problematic. Get the light beam on me, ready for electrostatic. Don't you step into this box if you're not batting. Then my gang got tools, you can call them boy crap. Man, this gang got rules, man, you better watch your passes. This ain't not new.
What's going on? Welcome to Totally Blitz Podcast. Man, do we have a recap for y'all this week? NFL Week 8 was fucking crazy. Before we get started this episode, go down, like, and subscribe. It means a lot to us. Shout out everyone. We made it past 100. We're going to keep growing the channel. But as always, these are your hosts. I'm Paul, Pickle Wyndham Concha, also known as the Drunk Gambler. I got a bottle of rum with me today. Who's with me?
Hey man, you already know it's your boy Kev, Water Boy Savoy. You feel me? Staying hydrated, staying thirsty. And Paul, bro, I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I was doing some math the other day.
Okay.
No cap. So like I was doing some addition, not too great at that. Subtraction, even worse. Multiplication, I'm out the door with it, kid. I'm not even gonna lie to you. 2 times what equals who? No, sir. But there's something about that division.
But you know
When
what
it
to
comes to
do?
the division, I'm just like my dirty birds. I'm number one.
Let him know, Kev. Mathematician in the building.
I'll tell you, you're not number one in your division. Don't speak to me, you bozo.
Yeah.
How you doing today?
Number one in the division and number one in the head-to-head rankings between us. Kevin and me both went 8-6. Kev's sitting at 57, 47, and 1. I'm sitting at 53, 51, and 1. It's kind of close. It's still close. Anybody's race still. On the locks and dogs, Kev went 1-1 on his locks, 0-1 on the dogs. The Giants didn't come through. Neither one of us hit a dog. The
Bitch
Cardinals
ass.
did. And then I went 2-0 on my locks, so that was a good thing. 3-2 on my best bets. We're back to winning, baby. Feels good. And 9-9 on the props. Kev, you got an evil little smirk on your face.
Because maybe it's time for that. It's time for everybody's favorite part of the week. We talking Water Boys games of the week. You feel me? And there's only one game to fucking talk about. This game was fucking insane. We had the Falcons versus the Panthers. And I need you guys to understand this, right? This game had me drinking so much.
I bet.
I did not watch. I barely remember any other football. I know what happened. Shit went down. It was lit. But I was so deep into this game. This game was fucking insane. We had the overtime, a couple missed field goals, motherfucking quarterbacks, fucking PJ Walker threw the fucking throw of his life. Fucking, but at the end of the day, Marcus Mariota and them boys don't never quit. They got straight fight, and them boys is dogs. Let's pull up the numbers for this fucking game because this shit was insane. How'd you enjoy the game of the week, Paul?
No, the game was fine. I'll let you continue with the numbers. I'm just going to point out something real quick. Baker Mayfield was healthy for the game, and he didn't play. It was PJ Walker. And then now after this game, they've gone forward and said Baker Mayfield's officially benched for PJ Walker, and moving forward, Baker has accepted his role. Talk about earning your fucking starting spot, bro. From the XF, like I just love his story. I only love it more the fact that like now he's starting over Baker, and that throw was actually the longest pass ever in the next gen stats era. So since they've been keeping the next gen stats for like what 10 years or so, 8 years or so, that 60, it was like 62 yards in the air or something. It was the
I was
longest.
about to say, like, when I think about it, nobody ran. Like, it was in the end zone.
Yeah, it was a straight. Oh, and he actually caught it in the end zone, like reaching for it. So it was even longer than like the 62-yard touchdown. So it was really like 64-yard throw. Boy had a cannon on it, bro, and it was on the money. Like that was the craziest thing to me. It was like he put it right. It was reminding me of that Geno Smith throw to Tyler Lockett earlier this year.
Yeah, bro, I was sick when I watched that throw. I'm not gonna lie to you. We scored our touchdown, and I was like, oh, okay, bet this offense is not driving. No way. And then we got the stops, and I'm thinking like, yo, there's no way this offense is gonna drive. So what does he do? He chucks that bitch 62 yards. And like, I don't even think he saw the mismatch, but there was no safety back there. That was a corner that got burnt and a linebacker. It is just like, what the fuck? Like, who the fuck? Why are y'all guarding DJ Moore? I don't care if he was in a fucking slot. Bro, where the fuck is safety help at? But our secondary's fucking disintegrated at the moment. So motherfucking, and when I tell you, Falcons Twitters was upset when we get into overtime and this Marcus Mariota throws that pick. Oh my God. Me and Falcons Twitter almost. You see Falcons Twitter this Sunday. Motherfucking, oh my God. They almost, but but two missed pick kicks later. What's it called? The kicker misses the fucking extra point. So we go into overtime. Motherfucking, and then he misses the other one after the pick in overtime.
So
he's sitting number 1 in the division.
Congrats. I'm also going to point out this the flag on DJ Moore where he took the helmet off. First off, boneheaded move. Just like, I know it's the heat of the moment. People have been talking down on you. This is your first game where you look like you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. NBC rule analyst expert came out like yesterday or today and said that the calling on the field was wrong. He was technically, because when he took his helmet off, he was out of bounds. And as long as he's not on the field, he shouldn't have been flagged for it. And so, like, Falcons, like, I know y'all don't give a fuck, like, how fuck y'all, but like, in reality, it was just another time where the refs just made a wrong call, and maybe it costed the team. We'll never know now.
No, it cost them the fucking game.
Yeah, no, it definitely costed him the game, but yeah, that's just never go back, only go forward, right?
That's what you love about football. There's always somebody fucking up. There's always. I be explaining that to people, right? Because like, if you watch football, you wouldn't think I actually enjoy the shit most of the times. This week I was in a great mood, but usually I'm in this bitch, bro. They fucking suck. Like, I say that at least 54 times an hour. So motherfucking people be like, why do you watch it if you just think everybody sucks? It's not. I don't think everybody sucks. Just somebody has to mess up for something good to happen. Like, that's just facts. Like, somebody has to be bad.
Oh, trust me, man. I be watching games in the fourth quarter when no time is left, and I'll be like, bro, I need this kicker to make this kick just to cover. Like, fuck everything else. Like, and he misses an easy kick, and it's just like, you fucking, like, I have no emotional ties to you, just my money is tied to you. So it's just like, you fucking prick. Like you get real heated in the moment. Like, so I understand, especially when it comes from your team.
But no, this game was great. I think we played great. Motherfucking Caleb Huntley, my dog, had motherfucking those 91 rushing yards. The touchdowns, Kyle Pitts. Yeah.
He did that.
The boys like that. The pick six. Yeah. Yeah. Wait, was it a pick six?
I believe, yeah.
Oh, yeah, the pick six. Yeah, we did. Then, my dog Bird, Dirty Bird himself.
You like that little name Bird. I gave him, the Dirty Bird.
He's like our little version of Tyreek Hill. You feel me? Like he not Tyreek Hill, but
he hit one like 4 weeks ago. I remember it was a nice little 75-yarder up the middle.
It was last week.
Oh, it was last week. I just remember hearing his
last
name.
Week or the week before, because I remember I was like, dang, should I get him in fantasy? No, he's not gonna do that again. He did it again.
Well, shit. The last little thing I'm gonna hit on for this, from my side, is Calvin Ridley got traded. Today is the trade deadline. Calvin Ridley got traded to. Let me make sure I got the right team. Calvin Ridley. Oh, he went to the Jaguars.
Yeah, I'm not too upset about that. It's like that was, he's cool and everything like that. Free Calvin Ridley, but like, we didn't get to use him last year because of the mental stuff, and this year because he's hurt. And allows a completely different team now. So
yeah, and you're more of a run heavy team anyway. But I just find it funny. Someone pointed out he got suspended because he bet on the Falcons to beat the Jaguars last year, and now he's on the Jaguars.
That's actually comedy, kid.
That's perfectly irony. But let's see. We'll hit more trades as we go. Whenever teams we get to, I'll point out who just got traded, who's in a new land.
But shit just got so much brighter.
Oh, I bet. Let's see. Let's go to London. I forgot about this game. Actually, it happened so early. We both were on the Jags. The Broncos finally win. They've snapped the losing streak, and the Jaguars snapped their winning streak over in London.
How the fuck did this game made me mad because I woke up early for this shit, and I really thought the Jaguars had it. They had the lead late in the fourth. Who the fuck is supposed to drive down? Russell Wilson? That's exactly who did it. Like, it's fucking insane. And Trevor Lawrence, not a fan, but he's getting another weapon, so that might help him. That might help him. But yeah, I did not see anything promising from these either team, truthfully.
Travis Etienne had a day. I think he had 150 rushing yards. And that's the one thing I was saying. I was like, I think the Jags can win because the Broncos have phenomenal pass defense, and Trevor Lawrence throwing those interceptions, you can tell. But on the ground, Breece Hall broke through them. Fucking, and Etienne just had a day with 150 yards, and Etienne's the guy. I see why y'all traded away James Robinson. Like, full unleashed Etienne is a problem.
No cap. But yeah, I'm just shocked the Broncos really won this shit. This was pretty interesting. Like, I think Russ hit a couple of great. That pass over the top to Hamler. Hamler was straight money, but like, I think they just looked good in a couple drives, and that's what decided the game. Because like, Trevor Lawrence throws a pick, they're losing. He has to drive down, throws another pick. Like, yeah. It was their game. It was literally the Broncos just kind of just like, they're ugly as fuck. Like, they're what we think the Steelers used to be. I feel like on offense, this is like ugly, scrappy, and they just figure out how to put the drives together and shit. But fuck them niggas.
Next game, we had the Cowboys blowing out the Bears 49-29. Dak came all the way alive. But it was close a little bit.
Yeah, I won't say there was a point like when the Bears had scored 23 and I was like, whoa, I know the Bears ain't finna fuck up my motherfucking picks this week.
Yeah, like right. The second and the third quarter is right when the Bears started moving.
And then, but Michael Parsons, when he got that fumble on that insane fucking play, but the same play where two fucking players tackled each other, two Cowboys tackled each other, got that insane fumble, took that back, and then Tony Pollard's fucking crazy
run, jumping over Parsons instead of touching Parsons. So Parsons gets up and is like, all right, I'll just fucking run with it. Scored his touchdown.
No, and then motherfucking run by Tony Pollard, fucking breakthrough, like, what was it, 54 yards?
Mm-hmm.
Like, motherfucking, those were like, showed like, this is just the same Cowboys. Like, when they're up against bad teams, they figure out a way to like really splash, to make these splash plays and just come alive.
Yeah,
and like,
my bad.
I was saying, this game is always funny when you watch games like this in the Cowboys because you're thinking like, maybe they might Jerry Jones their way into the playoffs again this year. But that's gonna be tough with the Giants and Eagles playing the way they're playing. But what you see in this game?
Honestly, the Cowboys might be the second best team in the NFC, bro. Like, I know it's just the Bears, but who's this? Like, we know the Eagles are the best team in NFC. Like, even if you don't really believe, like, oh, they're the only other team right now is the Vikings. And after that, the Giants aren't all like I still think the Giants should be exposed.
Didn't the Giants already beat the Cowboys?
No, the Cowboys beat the Giants with Cooper Rush.
Oh, they did.
Yeah, Monday night. That's why the NFC is so wide open right now. It could be the 49ers are the second or third better team, but it's just like they're also four wins. They don't have many wins.
That's insane. That's really insane.
The NFC East could have 3 teams in the playoffs this year because of how lackluster the rest of those NFC teams have been. Like the Saints, like look at y'all division. The Bucks aren't the power hitter anymore. The Cardinals might go, and the Packers might not make it this year. The way that they're playing, the schedule they got left, like the NFC East might just be honestly. And like the Cardinals are 3-5. I know D-Hop is back. Seattle is like 4-win or 5-win? Seattle might be the second best. Like that second best team, title is up for grabs in the NFC, in my opinion. Like I don't think there's a clear cut. Like maybe the Vikings, especially with the people they traded for, but I don't know. If the Cowboys get offense looks like what they looked like yesterday, they might be nasty. And especially with because they didn't even have Zeke. And like I know we talk shit on Zeke, but like Zeke in the past 4 weeks has been looking pretty damn good. Like we were talking mad shit on Zeke going into the year, but when Cooper Rush was playing quarterback, Zeke was really like one of the main reasons why they were winning.
Nah, damn, that's actually a great fucking point. Motherfucking.
I'm not standing on the fact that they're the second best team, but it's just like right now, it's like NFC outside of the Eagles is like who else is really gonna go?
Mm-hmm. Now that's no cap. That's actually interesting.
And then I want to see. I want to say someone made a trade? Oh no, I did not know one made a trade. Justin Fields had a career day, career high in touchdowns, a career high in passer rating, and they still get like blown out. But maybe he's progressing. Like maybe like they're starting to play. They're starting to roll out calls just for Justin Fields, and he's starting to look at least better than what he's been showing the past season and a half.
That's actually interesting. I mean, Khalil Herbert needs to get the starting position, in my opinion. I don't think David Montgomery like that for real. But
I think they're slowly doing that because Khalil Herbert's had all the red zone touches in the past 2 games. So I think they're slowly like, oh, Khalil Herbert's a better in the final 10 yards. Oh, Khalil Herbert might be better at the 50. Like I think they're slowly doing that. Let me see any trades here to note. Jonathan Hackins, I believe the pass rusher, no one too big, went to the Cowboys. Next game, we had the Dolphins beating the Lions. My Dolphin, it was a close game in the first half. It was like 17-27. We were losing. We came back at that second half, made crazy adjustments because I want to say the Lions didn't score second half, period. They didn't put up any points second half. But I want to say they only put up less than 100 yards in the second half. In the first half, they had like near 300. So that was just great adjustments coming out of halftime. And Tua, 350 yards, 3 touchdowns, 80-something% completion percentage, no interceptions. No other quarterback has ever thrown 300 plus yards, 3 touchdowns with an 80% completion percentage. Like he was just on fire this week.
Was in the game? What happened in the first half? Because I remember watching this game a little bit.
Especially early, it was like 14-0. We're losing, and honestly, they just had a couple big chunk plays, like Jared Goff to Hawkinson for like 50 yards to set up like a red zone, and then it just ran it, and eventually got it on a nice touch. And then another like same thing. I think like someone else got like a big catch for like 40 yards, like Khalif Raymond or something. And then after that, they're set up again in the red zone, and it just ran a few plays, scored again. But I was never too worried because like our offense was working. Like we were still scoring ourselves, moving the ball. I was like, also those chunk plays isn't something you can bank on for like a whole 4 quarters. Like it's not like they're methodically moving the ball down. It's like, 50 yards, here we are.
I respect it. Glad to see I get the dub over there.
Tyreek Hill, 188 yards. Waddle, 100. Crazy thing, bro. Tyreek is 200 and something yards more than second place in receiving right now. He has like 900 and something. Second place is Diggs with 750. And then the fourth place is Waddle with 720. So like Waddle's literally 30 yards off of becoming the second number 2.
Dang, that's great. If it stays like this, you think they're gonna put Tua in MVP talk?
If we go undefeated with Tua, like I know that's a big if because he missed those games, but he has yet to lose a game that he played all the way through. If we do end up like winning out or maybe losing one game at the end of the year type shit, like I could see them being like, well, look at the Dolphins with Tua versus without Tua. They're without Tua 0-3, with Tua 12-1 this year. And then look at the yards, look at the like number 1 and complete. Like I think there's a case to be made if he continues this play. And then he has 2 receivers that both like number 1 and breaks the receiving record, which he's on pace to do right now. And then number 2 or number 5 Waddle. Like it might be kind of hard. But the way Mahomes and Hurts are playing, it also might be hard to take away from them doing it for 16 or 17 games.
Hey, this is a contract year. I don't know. I'm just saying, it's a contract, and niggas might have to forget about them injuries and put them in.
Shout out the Dolphins. We went out and got Bradley Chubb. We went out and got ourselves an all-pro pass rusher. Fucking our defense was looking kind of so we're like, fuck it, let's go get it. And we traded away Chase Edmonds for that also. So like we're making more like he's got.
You didn't lose anything.
Yeah, but now we got Jeff Wilson. We traded to go get Jeff Wilson from the 49ers. So now we got Morstead and Wilson from the 49ers with McDaniels.
Fuck Morstead, man. That nigga 1 point. I started him twice in both leagues, 1 point each time. Now he's just started running back, scoring touchdowns and shit. It's bullshit.
It's bullshit, nah. But hey, I'm liking it. Like I was saying before, like with Tua, I'm not afraid of a shootout with any team. I'm not afraid to put up points, and I think this team can do it. Next game, we're both wrong on this one. We had the Cardinals It was close. They had the ball. They were down by 8 in that fourth quarter. There's chances to be made, but it just didn't happen. Vikings win 34-26. Vikings are 6-1 right now, 4-0 at home.
This is crazy just off the face. One, D-Hop, hell of a game.
Hell of a game.
Hell of a fucking game, as usual. So this Cardinals offense looked like they were scoring. They looked good. I had to watch this on the red zone. So they looked like they was doing their thing. And the Vikings got a lead early, and they just looked like they was going to chip towards the lead. But this defense couldn't do shit to this offense.
Nothing. And the offense only got scarier, bro. They just traded for TJ Hawkinson.
They have TJ Hawkinson?
Now they got TJ Hawkinson, like Jetta's TJ, KJ Osborne, and Adam Thielen. Like, that's fucking kind of scary. Like, they are going all in right now. They said, fuck it. We're winning. Let's go get more weapons.
I guess some defense, I ain't gonna lie. Or at least take Dalvin Cook out, because the defense always play better when Dalvin Cook came there.
And Hawkinson can block. That's one thing I always give him credit. He's almost like a mini Kittle. Because like Kittle gets all the love for his blocking, whereas Hawkinson, no one ever talks about it. But like he's just another long-haired white boy that knows how to block and catch. See, Cardinals. Did the Cardinals make any trades? I know they traded away some players, but I don't think they traded. Robbie Anderson, if you count that, a couple weeks ago. Next game, the Saints is blowing out the Raiders, bro. 24-0. This was just fucking bad.
This was embarrassing, kid. Like, I didn't watch a single second of this game. I haven't seen a highlight from this game. I was just looking like Andy. I looked up because Pat Mahomes was on bye this week in fantasy. So I had to start Andy Dalton. I look, Andy Dalton, 22 points. What the fuck? 24-0. What the fuck?
What the fuck is going on?
This is the same game where I won 189 to 184. So like we had the highest scoring. The dude I played against would have beat everybody in the league.
Oh, I know he's pissed. I know how he feels.
Yeah, bro, our wide receivers went crazy. I had fucking. I'll get into that when we talk Eagles. But motherfucking, so the fact that Andy Dalton scored 23 for me was like, yo, thank you.
Hey, Saints didn't trade Kamara, so like he's staying. I guess the Eagles weren't willing to give up that top 5 pick that they have resting on them. But fuck, like
I would have gave that shit either. What the fuck?
Oh yeah, no, we'll get into another team that had a trade for the Eagles that the Eagles are linked to, and I think the Eagles should have pulled the trigger and they didn't. But man, this Raiders team is like keep shocking me. It's like some games where you're not supposed to win, they win. Some games that they're supposed to win, they just fucking blow it. And I think this game tells me more about the Raiders than about the Saints. Like with the Raiders, I'm just fucking done. Like they are that bad. I kept giving them like, oh, they're just the best 2-win team we've ever seen on paper, but not on the field. They fucking stink on the field. Devontae Adams had 1 catch for like what 3 yards or some shit. Like what the fuck?
That's insane because he's really just scored a touchdown pretty much whatever it felt like. I look at the Raiders as a team. They were what I thought the Seahawks were. The Seahawks are balling. They're doing their thing right now. But the Raiders are really what I thought the Seahawks were going to be. They would just sneak in and get a win every once in a while and get fucked up by teams on a regular basis. But the Raiders are just like, they're a team that can do good. And I don't think they're a good team. I think they're a team that can do good. I think they got the lesser of the McDaniels.
Right.
Like they should have got Mike. They got Josh.
For those people that play like my GM on 2K and NFL Madden and all that shit, and that team chemistry matters the most. Like, it doesn't matter about who's on your team. If your chemistry is low, you always lose games for some reason. And that's what the Raiders feel like. Like, it's like those person that make all those trades in the season and get all these star players and like, yeah, I got the super, and they sim the season, and next thing they know, they only win like 4 games, and they're like, what the fuck? I got all these star players, and it's like team chemistry 20%. Y'all, you're not winning shit. Like, I'm not saying the team not getting along, but it's just that's what it reminds me of. It's like on GM when you get all the good players, but your team still don't win for some reason.
Yeah, okay.
It might be coaching, but I always feel like coaching is also a scapegoat sometimes.
I look at it. I think they should have kept the coach that Rob Bisaccia, or they should have kept Bruh from last year. Truthfully.
Oh yeah, the end of the year out, they're rallying behind Boyd.
So I think that's what it was. I feel like this team is a team that can do great, but they have to be put in positions to do great. I don't want to blame it 100% on coaching, but like Derek Carr's looking the worst he's ever has. Like, and Derek Carr to me is the baseline of if you're a good Bad quarterback. Are you better than Derek Carr? Okay, I can see you're a good quarterback. Are you worse than Derek Carr? Then you're not a good quarterback, homie. So like he's playing the worst he's ever has, and I think it's because of this offense that he's running right now. Did they keep the same offensive coordinator?
I believe so. I could be wrong. I didn't keep up too much with them, but I believe
So
so.
it's the same offense that they had where they replaced Devontae Adams. What's brand name that got Henry Ruggs for Devontae Adams?
Yep. I
And
believe so. I could be wrong, but like don't quote me on that, but I believe so.
that's crazy. So something has to shake because like this team is not going to do any better. They put in a lot to make this team what it is.
Before we move
Derek
to
Carr,
oh,
benching.
yeah, no, fucking our Raiders pick, our low key Derek Carr MVP, all that shit dead right now.
Uh,
Let me see. I did forget to hit on these. There's a couple trades. The Falcons did go out and get a corner. They got Rashad Felton from the Chiefs, former starter.
Former starter. Yeah. We need that on the other side. AJ Terrell come back healthy. We're gonna need that for the playoffs.
Hey, let them know, Kev. Let them know. Then we had we talked about the Broncos. Forgot to bring up they did trade for. They got rid of Bradley Chubb, so they traded the Jets and got what's his name, Jacob Martin. Not as good as Bradley Chubb, but he's a decent rotational pass rusher. Like he's got to fill that void. Like you got rid of your best pass rusher, you got to at least fill the void. And then the Bears went out and got Chase Claypool. Second round, they traded their second round pick for Chase Claypool. The Packers also were trying to get Chase Claypool and offered a second round pick as well. They just decided to go with the Bears instead of them.
You said who got Chase Claypool? The Bears?
Bears, yeah. Chase Claypool's career is over. Like that's what I said.
Damn, them boys probably. Well, it's probably just off the fact that the Bears
Gonna have a worse record.
Yeah, that Bears definitely. I don't know the Bears. Oh, well, the Packers beat the Bears, so that's probably what their thing was. They're like, huh, who's probably gonna do worse? And then I bet you it's also like Chase Claypool probably wanted to leave too. I feel like that was a thing. So I think it's it's like kind of tradition to just send them to the worst team when they don't have a no trade clause.
Just fuck you.
Yeah, like I think that's tradition because one thing I learned about the difference between NFL trades and NBA trades is that on an NFL trade, everybody has to feel like they won. That's why you don't really see blockbuster trades in the NFL like that for real. Like you're not really seeing no 3-team trades or like a person and another. I don't even know if they can do that, but that wouldn't even be a thing. Just everybody has to feel like they won in some sort.
Yeah.
Like each party has to feel like, yeah, we got what we want. If not, they just say fuck it. Well, how many people have you seen say like, yo, I'm never playing for this team again, and they just watched them. They just watched them just sit like. I don't win anything if this nigga forced me to trade him. Like I want to trade him because I felt like he.
Yeah, and then one thing I forgot to hit on was the TJ Hawkinson to the Vikings trade. This is super rare. Like this was an interdivision trade. You don't ever see someone trade a star player to another within the division, and that's what happened with Hawkinson going to the Vikings from the Lions. So that was odd.
This nigga they traded. I just peeped. That's crazy.
Yeah, no one's really saying that, but that was the first thing I thought of when I seen it. And I was just like, huh, like you don't ever see two teams in the same division working together. And then Chase Edmonds went to the Broncos. I forgot to hit on that. He did get traded off the Dolphins and he went to the Broncos. He was part of the Bradley Chubb trade.
Their running back room is already in disarray.
They got Latavius Murray starting right now over Gordon. It's just wild.
It doesn't make sense. We don't even pay attention to these.
All right, next game, I had hit off all those trades I missed, but this one right here, I called it from a mile away, bro. The Patriots beating the Jets 22-17. Belichick passes George Halas to now be the second most wins of all time, only behind the one and only Shula. But
I pray nobody breaks any record Don Shula put up. People really, I feel like there's certain people you never want to forget in history. But
Zach Wilson sucks.
Did I pick the Jets?
No, you picked the Patriots too. You I think you maybe was leaning Jets, but then the more I was just like, yo, the Patriots fucking are gonna like Bill Belichick got embarrassed last week, and he's gonna come in there and put Zach Wilson in the box. And that's exactly what fucking 300 yards. He looked fucking terrible. Those interceptions were just fucking god awful. Zach Wilson's a bust. He sucks. Like this need accepted already.
Damn. I mean, I think his gritty isn't that bad.
Definitely better than Gesicki's gritty.
Nah, that Gesicki, like you said, Gesicki's gritty is probably a hate crime in most states. And we just let it slide in Florida. But all I seen from this game is I saw that Sauce Gardner was ready for it. He said that he said he expected Bill to challenge him. And I saw the interception that Zach Wilson threw when he was running out of the pocket. It looked like he was about to throw it away, but he saw this dude leaning and he threw it. He just didn't put enough air under the ball and he threw that bitch up and it was a pick. And that's when I agreed with you. I was like, huh, maybe this man does suck. Like maybe he's not that good for real. Like I didn't think he was good, but maybe he's not very, very, very bad. Like there's a lot of people I don't think are good, but I don't think they're terrible. Like maybe he genuinely does suck. And maybe him and Trevor Lawrence are in the same boat.
I'd rather have Trevor Lawrence without a doubt. Because Zach Wilson, year 2, this is just year 2 stats, bro. Dead last completion percentage, 54.9% completion percentage, 10 sacks.
And they got you over the summer. You got Garrett Wilson.
And 3 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. They asked Elijah Moore, how's the, especially first game back, all this stuff, how's your team chemistry with Zach Wilson? His legit quote was, I don't know. He don't throw me the ball. Like they are not happy. Like this team looks like if Zach Wilson, if they had Flacco in, they might beat the Patriots. Like Flacco was at least putting up like 300 yards and like keeping games close and stuff. Like they didn't have to rely on the defense in the run game as much. With Zach Wilson, you have to rely on the defense in the run game. And even Jets reporters are now saying like, we are a playoff team and Zach Wilson is holding us back. And I'm happy that they're saying that because they are not. Stop sugarcoating it and thinking like, well, he'll turn it around. It's like, no, bro. Like we've seen enough of this man. He is not good.
Is it looking like every quarterback from last year's draft sucks? Mac Jones, Zach Wilson.
Looking mid. Justin Fields is kind of progressing maybe this year. Trevor Lawrence is looking like he didn't see any type of real like problems in the college football scene or high school football scene. So now that he's coming to the NFL and he actually has to face adversity, he's kind of crumbling against it. These are some red flags. We might be watching Ryan Leaf and them boys from like way back in the day.
Oh shit, that's crazy.
That draft class had like 4 people go in the first round, all be bust. Like
that's crazy. We'll see, man. Let's see how this goes. What's the next game?
Next game was a blowout from start to finish. We had the Eagles 7-0, destroying the Steelers. Kenny Pickett over a half interception. Chick-ching, give me that money. Jalen Hurts over 230 yards. Chick-ching, I think that cashed at halftime. Like that shit he was just balling with AJ Brown.
AJ
real story.
Fucking Brown, 3 touchdowns, and every touchdown looked so nice. He had a defender burnt.
My favorite one was when he pointed at the people. Like he caught him over 2 Steelers person and they hit each other and fell and he was like, I was like, oh, he disrespectful with it.
He's nasty, man. I remember just looking up because I'm more deep into this Falcons game. I looked up and that bitch said AJ Brown 3 touchdowns. I'm like, I know I'm winning the fantasy.
In the first half.
You know what's crazy about that? If he doesn't score 3 touchdowns, I lose. Like that's insane. Like if he scores only 2, I lost. Like it is crazy.
This is the first week where I felt like it was finally fantasy football again. Where like, cause every week's been kind of normal football, with maybe 1 person spazzing, maybe 2. Whereas this week there's finally like six or so people that spazzed, and like if you had them, you felt the impact of having them. Week to week, like back then, like we haven't really seen that like impact yet on certain players. But with this week, we saw like people just go fucking federal, like just go absolutely nuts.
Yeah, the Eagles are the best team in the NFC right now, and if they keep playing like this, I like them to. I keep saying they're due for it now. Like I really see them as a 15-2 team or 14-2 team, but I don't know, man. They're really looking like with the schedule they got, and the way they're playing.
Yeah, like I'm gonna just read off the schedule real quick for the people that don't understand where like the possibility of them going undefeated is real if they really play out. They have Houston, Washington, Colts, Green Bay, Tennessee, New York Giants, Chicago, Cowboys, Saints, Giants again. They should beat all these teams that they're going up against. That's the thing. They should, but not everything's promised every week. There's on paper though, like they do have a legitimate chance.
I just hope they're in the locker room taking it 1 week at a time and not giving a fuck because they're balling right now. Fuck Sham. I hate to see him happen.
Yeah, fuck them. Eagles went out. Did they get someone? Let me see. I want to say they did go get. Well, they got Robert Quinn from the Bears a couple days ago, and that actually might be it for them. Yeah, no, they didn't make any other big moves. Oh, but they were tied to Kareem Hunt, and Kareem Hunt is staying put on the Browns, and its sources are coming out. All the Browns wanted was a 4th-round pick for Hunt, and nobody was gonna give it. Yeah, that was the running back where I was like, hey, a 4th rounder for Hunt, like I would have took that if I was the Eagles.
Wow. Yeah, I would have took that. No cap.
Let's see. But the next game, the Titans beating the Texans. Titan, like Derrick Henry, 219, first player in history to have like 4 games or 3 games. I think it was 4 games against the same opponent, and all of them be over 200 yards. Like no other person has ever had to do that like 4 times against the same opponent.
You ain't tell me that before I picked the fucking Texans.
I told you the Texans let up 164 yards per game against the run alone, and they're going up against Derrick Henry and a fucking Sam Ellinger at the helm. Not Sam Ellinger, fucking Malik Willis at the helm. Yeah.
I have too much respect for Lovie Smith. I feel like when I look at him, I think a defensive juggernaut. Lies. That was some bullshit. That nigga ain't doing shit.
Yeah, and the Texans, like Malik Willis threw an interception, and like it kept the game close. Like the Texans, if they could just score fucking points, they could do something maybe in this game. But they just look just another team that was just god awful. Brandon Cooks didn't get traded, and he sounded like he wanted to be traded because then he had some like cryptic ass tweet afterwards about don't take kindness for weakness.
Playing with his career.
Yeah, so we'll see. Maybe he won't even, because they play this Thursday, so we'll see what happens with that and him and everything. Because he wasn't even at practice today. They said he was actually thinking he's gonna be gone, so he didn't even show up for practice.
It's so crazy just off the face that like in the NFL you want to sit because like in basketball you can sit. In the NFL, you want to sit, but it's tough because you're not getting no film. You ain't got no film. Them boys gonna try to play you like you watch. So you gotta stay under these shitty circumstances. And like Davis Mills is your quarterback, man. I understand your frustrations.
Yeah, and then with the Titans, this just showed me like Derrick Henry, like this is the Derrick Henry of old. Starts the first 4 weeks kind of slow, and then just slowly gets his feet underneath them type shit. And then as the season progresses, we start seeing the 170-yard games, the 150-yard games, 200-yard games. Like at the later in the season we go. Remember it was like Derek Tober or Derek Simber instead of December, Derek Simber, because fucking he's just December time rolls around, he's putting up insane numbers.
I think it's funny because I feel like he was doing the opposite last year. Like last year, he got hurt, don't get me wrong. But last year he started off the league like leading the, if it wasn't for Jonathan Taylor going crazy, he would have really like he could have still like won in rushing. I think he still finished. Like,
he also was putting up like I think like he was averaging like 30 something touches a game, like some insane workload.
And that was literally their offense too. Like they would run the ball in very very late situations, and I thought that was insane until you see Derrick Henry break for 60 yards. You're like, oh fuck.
And also show me like Tannehill's the starter. Like Malik Willis can probably be the starter down the road, but he's not ready right now. Just keep like the Tannehill needs to come back for this team to be better. Next game, this is a game that you said you watched every second of right here. The premier quarterbacks of the league. The Colts losing to the Commanders 16-17. Woo, what a showdown.
We picked the Commanders, right? Or did I pick Commanders?
You took the Commanders and I took the Colts.
I was upset because I was like, yo, if the Colts win this, I'm gonna be mad. Because then when the Colts scored like their last touchdown.
They scored it. I mean, I'll tell you right now. I know it was the fourth quarter. They took the lead and everything. They're looking good. Colts score. Let me see. Was it the third quarter? No, fourth quarter, 11 minutes left in the game to go. They take the lead 7-16. They're up by 2 possessions. But 11, and there has been no offense all game. So they're looking, I felt pretty good. 2 possessions, 11 minutes left. And then Heineke just went.
He got that dog in him and woke up. But I was watching this game at a Halloween party, and like everybody was like playing Taboo, and I was like, "Nah, I'm straight. I'm gonna watch the game." And like I was just watching this, like, yo, what if he was able to just really make a couple plays and like win this game? And when I saw the throw to Scary Terry, and Scary Terry just took it, I was like, "Oh, hold on." And that last throw was probably one of the big dick throws I've seen. If it wasn't for the motherfucking PJ Walker throw to DJ Moore, that would have been the fucking insane. The last touchdown. And
The
it's so
right before the QB sneak.
it's so these Commanders motherfucking they're ready to ball, kid, and like the teams that they can keep up with, they don't keep up with them, and all he has to do is make 1 or 2 plays. I mean,
The
this game
Commanders
was
are
lit.
4-4 right now. Like they're better. Like when we're talking playoffs to start today, like they're over the Packers. They're over. Like they might be over the 49ers, because both of them are 4-4 right now, depending on how they are, like divisional wise, all that stuff. But it's just crazy that like the NFC East really's got teams right now that are winning.
And last year there was the NFC East. This year they the NFC Beast.
Yeah, and everyone makes fun of the Commanders, but it's like, hey, that 4-4 might lead y'all's division if they were in it.
The Commies, not my division, they be tied because we 4-4 over here.
Let them know, Kev. Shit, but yeah, the Colts, they're another team where, especially with Sam Ehlinger, they're dead to me. They're in the same boat as the Raiders. I ain't touching them. Next game, fuck, this game was fun. For me, at least. Anyone who had the 49ers money line. 49ers blowing out. It wasn't blowout the second half. Like, it was 14-10 at halftime, and then the Rams just fucking turn it up a notch and just shut out the Rams. The Rams, I think, had less than 100 yards of offense second half. And I just loved how the commentators, like, first half, they're like, yeah, this Rams team is looking like back to their old selves. This Rams team, like, yeah, this is what we expect from this Rams team. Blah, blah, blah. And then, like, the moment they started, the 49ers went into the locker room, made some adjustments, came back. Oh, it was over for them. Oh, they're getting pressure. Oh, they're getting sacks. Oh, they're in Stafford's face. Oh, Cooper Kupp can't get open now because they're targeted. Oh, Christian McCaffrey's finally getting worked into more plays. Like, it was just, it was a bloodbath after that.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you. Once I seen Cooper Kupp got me my points I needed, I didn't really give a fuck about the Rams. But Christian McCaffrey,
the Triple Crown.
They said he threw. Yeah, he had a hat trick. How the fuck you have a hat trick in football? This is football, not football.
First ever.
So he threw a touchdown, caught one, and ran one in.
First ever in history of this National Football League.
Damn, that boy! I gotta go double back. I'm finna listen to the NFL mic'd up.
Right, and like the throwing one was so nasty. Shanahan trickery at its finest, where they get the play and like they've been running a couple wide receiver screens prior to that, so the defense is kind of looking for it, and then they get Christian McCaffrey out at wideout, and then they throw it to him, and McCaffrey sells it. Like, he starts running hard up to the line of scrimmage as if he's about to take off. So you see the safeties like coming in because they're like, oh, McCaffrey on the wide receiver screen. Then he just plants his foot. Like, it was so like how McCaffrey goes from 100 to nothing was just, and then and it was a dime. I was like, oh, that's a beauty. Like, it wasn't no wobbler. It wasn't the receiver has to stop and reach for it. It was like, oh, thank you, McCaffrey. Easy touchdown.
No cap. So if Christian McCaffrey can stay healthy with a Kyle Shanahan mindset.
Remember, and Debo. This was without Debo, too.
You see how Kyle Shanahan unlocked Debo. I remember Kyle Shanahan, how he made Julio look like a god in the Super Bowl. So, like, Kyle Shanahan's mindset is, like, really up there with the geniuses like Sean McVay's and pretty much that whole division. Pete Carroll.
Him and McCaffrey are like this. Did you hear the backstory?
Nah, what happened?
Shanahan used to babysit Christian McCaffrey.
That's crazy.
Like, something about their families being close, probably because McCaffrey comes from like football Olympian family, and Mike Shanahan, former all-time great coach. Like, there was something where I think his dad coached McCaffrey's dad in the NFL. Like, it's just crazy how they're linked up like that. And like, his dad played for the 49ers with Mike Shanahan. And then that's why CMC used to be babysat by the Kyle Shanahan.
That's crazy. Now that's your coach.
Yeah, like the match made in heaven. You know, Shanahan's been wanting CMC for a while. Let's go to the fuck you tour that's been touring all throughout the USA. Geno Smith and them boys fucking up the Giants. I mean, isn't it great to watch both New York teams lose in the same day? Or should I call them the Jersey boys because they really play out there in New Jersey?
You really got a vendetta against New York this week. But motherfucking uh, this Seahawks team impresses every week. Every week they show that they got promise. How did they win this game?
Oh, this game, fuck, it was like a team effort, bro. It was everything. It was a I think they a muffed punt turned into a touchdown, either a muffed punt or a block punt. I just remember it was something on the special teams for the Giants fucked up. And then was it Daniel Jones 20 yards on the ground, Barkley 53 yards on the ground, combined team 78 yards total on 28 carries. Like they had bottom 5 rush defense going into the game, but their rush defense showed like, oh, like keep sleeping on. Like they showed up this game and they took away the one thing the Giants did well. And then once they took that away, it was like, what else do you got? What else you got for me? There ain't nothing else.
Yikes! This is it. Then you looked up. This is it.
And it's not even like the I think Seattle had the 5th worst rush defense and Giants had the 6th worst. So it's like they both suck at rush defense. And so Kenneth Walker, 18 carries, 51 yards. Like he didn't do shit either.
And he got his touchdown though, didn't he?
He did get his touchdown, but he didn't do shit with the rushing wise. But Geno Smith has outplayed Daniel Jones in my opinion. Like he was able to get drives going, get touchdown. Also got Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf on both sides cooking it up.
And Pete Carroll, smart ass.
Pete Carroll, bro, fucking. He got a flag just for celebrating, kind of. He was on the field, like, you know, he gets hyped. That way we get hyped. He was on the field. They flagged his ass. And then the referee said, penalty on the Seattle Mariners, the baseball team. And then the Pete Carroll started buzzing out laughing and like clowning the ref. Like, you know, he gets up next to the ref, like, oh, we're the Mariners. Like, good thing we're the Seahawks, so we don't get 5 yards. Or so he was just making little jokes, you know. I was like, dumbass ref.
Dumbass boy.
Oh, but man, it feels good. Like Seahawks winning, they might be legit. I can't doubt them.
And the NFC's weak, man. They might sneak in.
And the Giants, like, you're one trick pony right now. Like, Daniel Jones was doing good things, and the defense was doing good things, but I don't look at Giants football games and be like, yeah, that's a good team. Like, I just don't do it. I'd be like, yeah, they win games, they find a way to win, but I just don't feel like, yeah, that's a good team. Like, I can bet on this team every week.
Nah.
And I think they're gonna be that team that starts off 6-1, but in the year ends at like 8-8. Yeah.
They're gonna pull the Cardinals.
They're gonna pull Cardinals. The Panthers did it with Cam that one year, and they were like 6-0, and then also next thing you know, they end the year like 9-6 or some shit. Oh no, nice. They end the game 6-9 or some shit. It was bad.
And they lost 2 games to the Falcons that year.
Yeah, Marcus was telling me, he was like, yeah, I remember our team was 6-0, and then we lost 7 straight. I was like, golly. So the Giants were with the reverse of what the Dolphins were last year. Where the Dolphins started off 1-5, 1-6, and then won 7 in a row. I feel like the Giants are going to start off hot and in this phase.
They've only lost 1 game so far. Let's see what them
2. No, they're 6-2. They lost to the Cowboys also with Cooper.
Oh yeah. But yeah, that's facts.
Let's see. Oh, I haven't been keeping up with the trades, but there has been a few more trades. Let me pull them up real quick.
We need to get the NFL, the draft, the sound effect. I'd like to announce a trade.
I'm announcing that the Colts traded to the Bills, Nyheim Hines. They got rid of the great pass catching back. Honestly, like that, I just think he fits great with the Bills. Like another running back that can actually go out there and like run routes and be another target for Josh Allen. And in return, the Bills sent Zach Moss to the Colts. Zach Moss wasn't really playing, but he's a good power back. Let's see. Then we had Roquan Smith, all-pro linebacker from the Bears, going to the Ravens.
He's a first-round pick, wasn't he?
Yeah, no, he's a dog. He was the one who recently was crying at the press conference when Robert Quinn got traded.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Then he said, I'm out too.
Yeah, he took his tears to the fucking GM that day. It was like, you gonna send Robert Quinn? You gotta get rid of me too. He said, bet. The Ravens said we don't need wide receivers. Those get better defensive players.
Bro, I'm mad. You know what I'm mad? I didn't check the special teams reports because I seen a lot of punt blocks, field goal blocks, and like you said, that muff punt. Like niggas is practicing special teams out here nowadays.
Oh, it gets shiesty out there.
Like if you don't have a good special teams, bro, you lack it.
That's 1/3 of your team. Offense, defense, and special teams. Don't forget now.
I'm saying this because I don't know how close you are to this Packers versus Bills game, but
it's coming up.
Getting exposed. But what's the next game, man?
It's Bills blowing out the Packers. Not blowing out, but 27-17 before the Packers get that fourth quarter touchdown to make it closer. The Bills are just a fucking that team, bro. They really are. Like I was telling my dad, like it was hard for me because I didn't take the +10 for the Packers. I mean, they pushed. It was a tie. They lost by 10 anyway. But I was like, the Bills. I could see Josh Allen throwing 2 interceptions because the Packers had the best pass defense. He did throw 2 interceptions, and then what I said was also, even if he throws 2 interceptions, they score 28 points, and I just don't see the Packers scoring more than 20 points. Period. Like. Especially against the best defense in the NFL on paper right now.
Hey, man, I said this since they lost last year that they would be doing this year. And then they got Von Miller. So they got nothing but more leadership, more veteran experience. I don't even know how good Von Miller's season is going. But just seeing how this defense is so together and so fucking intact. And then they just reactivated Tre'Davious White.
Von Miller is so nasty because he only plays third downs. So he comes in full 100% every play. They don't need him for first 2 downs. They already have a good front four. They get pressured the sending four without Von Miller. So then on third down, when they need a big play, he come in. He's not leading in sacks, but I think he's leading the team in sacks, and he's leading in like sack percentage just because he doesn't play all the snaps. Like he only plays select snaps, and when he comes in, he wrecks.
That's crazy.
It's literally like what do they call it? Like an abundance of treasures or something. Like when you just have so many good shit going on, like you don't even need him for every play. It's just nuts.
They're defensive people that you barely know the names of, besides probably like the safeties and Von Miller, is what we think the Rams are.
Yeah, and Micah Hyde got hurt, so that is something to peep. Like he was just walking around the sideline. I'm not gonna lie, but no homo. Micah Hyde could be a fucking model. That motherfucker light skin with blue eyes and the perfect cut. I was like, God damn, like that motherfucker right there. And they kept showing him on camera. I was like, yo, Jasmine, go to the kitchen real quick. I don't need you watching TV right now. All right. You can't have this cute motherfucker on my screen.
Oh my goodness. I was the most respectable way to say it, man. Is handsome. I'll give you that.
But the Bills are a problem. I just want to point out that one loss. You know where it coming from. You know who gave it to him.
Hey, and how you did it was the best part. Yeah, but I think that game speaks volumes to like what you have to do to beat the Bills, because the Ravens weren't gonna do that. The motherfucking the Chiefs didn't do that, and like the Bills had a chance. Like they really did. Like we can't forget what's big dog name that destroyed the fucking iPad.
Oh, Ken Dorsey.
Yeah, can't forget Kenny. So motherfucking like they had a chance. That shows like if you want to beat this Bills, you have to play great from quarter one. Well, you got to play fucking phenomenal and do amazing things because this defense is the truth. If they don't got to chase you, they're gonna kill you.
And I'm pretty sure I'm not 100% sure. I don't have the stats in front of me. I'm pretty sure we held them to the lowest scoring game this year. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure they only scored like 20 or something.
And I feel like it was mainly off the second half shit too.
But yeah, the Bills, they're still a powerhouse. We'll see him later this year. We'll run it back. Next,
if y'all can beat the boys again. Oh my gosh! Because after that, it's gonna be one of those like the Saints and Bucks. Like I can't wait to see that playoff game.
And that might be a big. That's the other game where like if we beat them there in Bill Mafia territory and there's no excuses about anything, and Tua balls out again, Tua continues like that will help his case for MVP.
And you know how Tyreek Hill does to them boys
every time. And then Waddle, bro, just fucking like he's just the unsung hero right now. No one's talking about that. Then we have our last game, Monday Night Football. Browns is blowing them out, 32-13, and the 13 points came in the fourth quarter. Like it was not close.
Bruh, this game was fucking insane. The way that they put up a stat that Myles Garrett has 5.5 sacks on Joe Burrow, and I was like, the way they terrorize this man, like when they just come for his head all day, every day, and Nick Chubb is a monster and a half. Like just the shit that he can do, and the fact that like every carry is at least 5 yards, and like the way he can shift and the way he can just turn up to the sideline, like he's a real old school dog.
He does remind like he's literally like the Jim Brown for the Browns. Like Nick Chubb is someone who I could see playing. Like he doesn't even wear like the fucking the gloves. Like he doesn't do any like he doesn't have anything that's like new school. He wears no gloves. He doesn't wear shit on his body. He just fucking runs the ball hard as fuck. And he's probably going through 2 or 3 people every play. And that's why it pisses me off when they don't run the ball with him. It's like you have a stallion back there. Like just fucking give him the ball and get out of his way right now.
No cap. And I'm not gonna lie, Jacoby Brissett, he's smart. He's smart. He makes smart plays. He runs when he needs to. He's gonna when he fucking reached out for the end zone, he's gonna do whatever he can to get there. Like I respect him. This is not Jacoby Brissett from the Dolphins. I'm gonna keep it about.
Not at all. If we had this man, we probably wouldn't have lost like 5 games with him. It was like he was like 1-4 as our starter last year.
And there were a lot of close fucking games. And the way they fucked up the Bengals, like they terrorized them the entire time on offense. And then he's hitting people in stride. The only mistake he really made was that Amari Cooper interception. And I feel like he was really just trying to throw it away. I really don't think he actually, but like he could have been trying to throw it to Nick. But that Amari Cooper interception was really the only downfall. Besides for that, I saw them play a fucking phenomenal last game. And I saw a defense that forced interceptions, saw a defense that forced the fumble. Like they kept them boys tough. And they held stop and they blocked a fucking field goal. Yeah. And because they blocked that field goal, it put them in position to be able to kick to get to field goal range and kick one for halftime and then get the ball back. When I saw that, they was up like 17, they got the ball back. I just knew that like this Bengal team didn't get started early. It was a wrap, and they didn't start shit to the fourth quarter. I'm not gonna lie, they didn't have Jamar Chase, but you still have Boyd and Higgins, and like the Browns defense was on that. And I love the refs in this game. The refs in this game were great. They was letting shit go because T Higgins and yeah, they was all game going back and forth and shit. You got Joe Burrow screaming like yo, and I'm looking like it's like you feel me, like
you call that one, we gotta call them all.
Yeah, like you feel me, like I don't know, man, like because it wasn't like he wasn't fighting back. So I'm just like,
it was a fair fight. It wasn't like he was getting jumped.
And then it's just like it's just hard to be fighting and trying to catch the ball in fucking NFL timing. So like that was a good. I love this game. This game was great. And the whole time I was just watching, like, damn, Nick Chubb is a beast. Mark Cooper, phenomenal.
Did it hurt, Kev? So we know Myles Garrett got the sack and a half. Newfound weapon that they brought over from the Falcons, Deion Jones. He got his sack. He got involved.
Oh, that's who got the other sack. I was trying to figure out who
did it. Well, him and my boy Taki. I just like his name. Taki got one.
You know, Deion Jones know how we fuck with him. Us Dirty Birds fuck with him. We had no business for him. We understand the NFL's a business. You feel me? No hard feelings.
I was like, I thought he got a sack.
Honestly, he's not like one of them fuck niggas that went to the Bucks.
Yeah, and not doing shit over there either.
Yeah, bitch ass niggas.
Not winning the division either, you know.
Yeah. Nah. But no, that was a fun game to watch. I think if you're not a Bengals fan, that was a great game to watch. The Browns, and it's so funny watching the Browns game. You just see that elf, and I'm just like, y'all really losing while this elf is on this fucking field right now?
I'll say, I don't know if I said it in the last episode, but I think I did. But I definitely tweeted it like right when the game started because I was like, I don't want anyone to say it because I didn't want to not say it on Twitter because if I said it afterwards, people would be like, oh, you just waited to blah blah. I said, and I'm standing on it, bro. I don't think T Higgins is a legitimate wide receiver one. Like the same worries that you had with CeeDee Lamb with the Cowboys when they had Cooper and Gallup and they was moving the ball. That's how I feel about Higgins. I don't think he's a real wide receiver one because he's been balling, but he's been facing cornerback twos and he's lined up in the slot a lot. So he's really facing cornerback threes a lot. So now that he's on wide receiver 1 and there's that best corner, Denzel Ward was on his ass majority of the game. Like, we didn't see shit from him until that fourth quarter. It had like 8 yards until the fourth quarter. Tyler Boyd was the one that I felt like, in the tight end Hurst was the ones moving the ball for the Bengals for the majority of the game. And I don't think he's a real wide receiver 1. I think he's a good wide receiver. Don't get me wrong. I just don't think he's can just step in if Jamar Chase is gone and the Bengals don't feel it. It's like, nah, Higgins is best when he's the second best receiver on the team.
I could definitely agree with that to an extent. I think because of what he does is he has a huge frame. Like, he's really easy to bully a corner number 3 and stuff like that. But I didn't know he was the 1. I thought Boyd was the number 2. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, I thought Boyd was like the number 2 behind Jamar Chase. So that's interesting because Tyler Boyd is the truth. Like, I put Tyler Boyd over him, and then
he was 1,000-yard receiver, and then T. Higgins got drafted, got hurt, so we didn't see. So Boyd kept doing his thing, but then when Chase came in, Higgins got healthy again. So then those two went off for 1,000 each last year, and Boyd still had like 800, 850 or something. Like, he was still relevant, but it was like, oh, we got this 2-headed dragon now, and Boyd kind of got shelved.
Yeah, and I think it's just because of the size, like, just because it looks good. Like, you got Jamar Chase, the speedy motherfucker that's open, and once he gets the ball, he can really cut up and take it upfield. And then you got T. Higgins, he's a nice deep threat, and he's bigger than a lot of motherfuckers on the field.
It is just one game, so of course I could be wrong. Like, next game he might put a 150 or some shit, but just off my opinion, I don't think he's ready for that wide receiver 1 yet.
I will say this about the Bengals offense, because a lot of people are giving them respect for having that 481 against the Falcons secondary, but like, that was a pretty out of the blue secondary. That wasn't that. 2 things that killed me was that they kept before the game they put down that this 5 for the Bengals. Their offensive line, they started the same offensive line the entire season. I'm just looking like, y'all were proud of that? I told people about that. That was embarrassing. But that's my biggest takeaway from this game, man. But that's the whole recap.
Yeah, that's everything. One thing I forgot to say, I bookmarked this tweet. I thought it was hilarious. When the Seahawks won, Tyler Lockett went up to the mic and was like, it's amazing what we can accomplish when no one cares who gets the credit. And it's just like another little shot towards Russ, everyone's saying. Like, it's just like, this team is rallying. Maybe they are happier without Russ. Like, remember, someone makes a great point. Remember that movie Draft Day, when it comes out that, like, oh, no one liked the number 1 pick, and that's why you shouldn't have taken all that. No one went to his birthday party. And people are now like, did anyone ever go to Russell Wilson's birthday party? Did anyone really fuck with Russ when he was on that Seahawks? Like, even Pete Carroll's taking shots at him. Like, it's just crazy. Like, how everyone's turning their back on him. We didn't even see this with the Colts with the Colts with Manning. Like, it's just crazy.
It's insane, man. But hey,
it's football.
Let's ride. But hey, man, this has been another episode of Totally Blitz Podcast. Week 8 or week 9?
This is week 8 recap.
Week 8 recap, you feel me? Shit got lit. There was a whole bunch of drip. And if you didn't know, I'm known for talking shit. Motherfucking me and my Falcons, we number 1 in the division. We'll catch y'all on Thursday night for the Thursday night picks and previews, best bets, prop bets, all that good stuff. Make sure you tune in to the Totally Blitz Fight Club, because these episodes are lit every motherfucking week. But I'm in this bitch with Paul Pick and Wyndham Concha. I'm Kev, number 1 in his division, boy, and we gonna talk to you later. And if you didn't know, I don't mind telling you again that you's a bitch.
Passing out the medicines. We've been on that rock star regimen, knowing that I'm heaven sent, higher than I ever been.